that brings strange miracles. I've seen people get miracles and lose them, and it breaks my heart. Can I have my face towel, please? Just bring it to me. I've seen people get miracles and they lose them, and it breaks my heart because you don't have to lose what God gives you. Actually, there's nothing God gives you that you lose. It is still there, but there are things that makes it go away. One day Jesus met a man, I've taught you this several times, who he raised, who had been crippled for 38 years, paralyzed. And he asked the man to pick your bed and go home. And later he met the man and said to the man that, go and sin no more, lest a worse condition comes unto you. In other words, though this man has received the miracle, a certain lifestyle could make the situation, that same situation, become worse. I don't know whether you are understanding me. Or are you in church or are you going home? So, even though one can obtain a miracle, a certain kind of lifestyle can make the same thing God has given you to become a burden to you. Last week Sunday, whilst you were having church service here, we were also having church service in another country. And we were teaching something, and I want to teach a little bit of it. Now I want to talk to you on what I call the Abraham's faith. Maybe another day I'll teach on the Christ's faith. But today I want to talk to you about, I've talked about Abraham's stuff, Abraham's this, but the kind of faith, the least kind of faith you must have is what we call the Abraham kind of faith. Can I hear someone say amen? Now let's go to Galatians chapter 3. And I'll be playing with Galatians chapter 3 for a long time. Galatians chapter 3, I'll play with it for a long time. But today, let's take out from verse number 1 to 9. Just for 1 to 9. Amen. Good. Amen. Let's all read together. Go. Oh, foolish, rich people. Don't put Galatians there. You are not called Galatia. You are not in Galatia. So it was written to Galatians. But this one, you see, don't read the word of God like it's for somebody. It's for you. So say, oh, foolish, rich people. Who has bewitched you, jujued you, cast a spell on you, change your mind, spoken words to you? Who has bewitched you that you should not obey the truth? Before whose eyes Jesus Christ was clearly portrayed among you as crucified. Now I want you to understand this thing, that the crucifixion of Jesus is the totality of our faith. I'll get there later. Now verse 2. Let's go to verse 2. Can you all hear me? Good. Because I was not hearing you. When I said let's go to verse 2, you are quiet. Verse 2, let's go. This only I want to learn from you, Bridge. Did you receive the Spirit by works or the law or by the hearing of faith? Are you so foolish? Having begun in the Spirit, are you not being made perfect by the flesh? You see, you get a miracle by the Spirit, and you start living your life by the flesh. Okay, you get healed, and you start taking medicine, or you believe that is the medicine that was doing it. Or you get married, and you start pouncing your face, as though it's the pounds that gave you marriage. Or you have a financial breakthrough, and you forgot that it is maybe the seeds and the tithes and things that have been the reason. And now you think it is hard work. So he said, let's read again. Now verse 3 back. Are you so foolish? Having begun in the Spirit, are you now being made perfect by the flesh? I put something on my GP way back, 2 weeks back. I said it is not about the beginning. But everybody can begin. I want to see those who get to the end of the line. Because when they began in the spirit, but in the middle of somewhere, they became so foolish that they now were being made perfect by the flesh. Physical work. Now let's go on. Verse 4. Have you suffered so many things in vain? All the things you've been through for Christ, all the sufferings, the things you've been through, is it for nothing? If indeed it is vain, it was in vain. Therefore, he who supplies the Spirit to you and works miracles among you. See, this miracle doesn't come by works. He who supplies the Spirit to you and works miracles among you, does he do it by the works of the law or by the hearing of faith? Some of you, since you got a miracle, you stop hearing preaching. Now you are going for lectures. When God breaks you through, you need administrative mind to manage it. But you don't need much administration like you need the thing that brought you to where you are. The early church, when they began, the church, I don't want to do administration again. Let's do separation of powers. Let 7 people be appointed to do that work, and I will dedicate myself back to prayer and a study of the word. Then the church began to grow. Because what limits our faith is the kind of information we begin to put into our spirit at a given time. Yes, you keep cool because I've not yet started. Let's go. Oh, verse 5 again. Help me. Therefore, he who supplies the Spirit to you and works miracles among you, does he work it by the works of the law or by the hearing of faith? Just as Abraham believed God. That's what we're going to talk about Abraham today. And it was accounted to him for righteousness. Therefore know that only those who are of faith, are sons of Abraham. And the scriptures foreseeing that God will justify the Gentiles, that is we, by faith, preach the gospel to Abraham before saying, in you all the nations shall be blessed. So then those who are of faith are blessed with believing what? Abraham. Now hear me. In Christianity, Jesus is our anchor. Jesus is our everything. But predating back, we look at one particular character, which is the Abraham. The Abraham was the first father of faith. And Abraham being the father of faith is interesting because everybody says that Abraham did very well. But if you look at how Abraham did, Abraham was there one day, he heard a voice, he didn't know the voice. You, at least, you have heard of testimonies. You have heard of breakthroughs. So when you hear God says, you can follow it. Abraham, do you know this God from anywhere? And he just heard a voice and said, leave your father, your mother, and go to a country I will show you. What a foolish man. So one day this guy packs his family, and then he sets off. They ask him, where are you going? He said, I don't know. Will you follow a man you don't know where he's going? Abraham didn't know where he was going. All that he knew was that his God says, I will show you a place. He gets to a place, he stays there a little while. God says, this is not a place. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. And that was Abraham. The Bible said, and because of that, God said, Abraham has faith. Now, who will do something today that you don't know what you will get and say you will do? These days, everybody who does something will say, what will I get? Okay, I want to sow a seed. If I sow, I'll get this. If I do this, I'll get that. But what if you don't know what you will get? Will you still want to do it? And a lot of us talk about faith. How many of you have faith here? And we have defined faith by Hebrews chapter 11. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. Faith is the substance of what you have not seen, and then you believe. So the things you have not seen, if you believe it, you have faith. Now we look at people who have faith in the Bible. Who is your greatest faith person in the Bible? Let's talk about them. Is it Daniel? Someone say, I wish I was like Daniel. you put me in the lion's den, and the lions can't chew me. And they said, oh, that day, you see, that day they had given the lions enough food to eat. So when Daniel got there, they were already satisfied. Give lions food to eat and let them put you there. And so, oh, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they gave them a special, God gave them a special anti-fire cloth. And so when they entered the fire, it did not burn them. Wear that same cloth and enter fire for 3 hours. Sometimes it's easy for God to break you through, and after God has broken you through, you look back and look at the self-steps you took. And you can easily assume that it was you who did it. If it was you who did it, let somebody repeat the same steps you took and see if the person will get the same result. Please. Let me give you 2 people can come and sow a seed of 100 Ghana cedis. One will come next week with a testimony. One will come and see he's gone bankrupt. Under the same unction, under the same anointing, under the same influence, the same message. Oh, hello. So people say that I like Abel's faith. Oh, who do you like in the Bible? Elijah, Elisha. Who again? Mention the names for me. Oh, let's go to where faith is very well seen. Where they listed the hall of faith. Hebrews chapter 11. Let's go there. Let's look at some of the wonderful names. Jephthah. The Bible said by faith, the elders. Who are the elders? Hey, don't sleep. Hello. Good. The elders obtained a good report. Do you know what is a report? So many of us, we are receiving reports. But when we went to school, some had terminal report that said they were the first in class, but they are failures in life. So people can have report. You can have very good report and yet a failure in life. You can have a good report. Oh, you are not here. Now, for by it, the elders, give me the original King James, please. Okay, by it, the elders, if they say the elders, they're talking about the old patriarchs. They receive good report. Do you like good report? Me, I don't like it. You see, good report is not enough. I repeat it. Good report is not enough. You think good people are the ones who are succeeding on it? I'll challenge your mind with something, you'll be surprised. It's not good people have a good report that are succeeding on it. No, so many of us, we are waiting for people to write good things about us. They take a pen and a paper and say that in terms of holiness, 100%. Attendance to church, 100%. What again? Tithe, 100%. Humility, 100%. Oh, whatever, 100%. They say, God, look at my report. I'm a good person. And yet you can see somebody who doesn't have any report. And yet the person is succeeding. Because let me tell you, your faith in God gives you a good report. But I want to take you to a place that it will take you beyond report. Because your terminal report from school doesn't give you a job. Wait, I repeat it. Your certificate doesn't give you a job. Your certificate can send you into a job. But in 1 week, you'll be sacked. And they will never recognize the certificate again. Your certificate took you in. But your personality took you out. You are not here with me. So, go with first class upper. What are reports? And then you enter the place. Look at your report and realize that, Master, you have good report. But deliver. Let's see delivery. I'm telling you this. I know that. I've seen people who go to school and then they come to us. years ago, and somebody who has finished masters in marketing, Polly, came to me, a lady. She said she's finished marketing. I said, market my books. She came back 3 weeks later and asked me, what should I do? I should tell you what you should do to market my book when you are masters in marketing. Well, the long and short of it is that it didn't work. I like the way you are quiet. You are wondering where I'm going. It's good to have a report. And your report will take you to heaven. Like all the names in Hebrews chapter 11, their report took them to heaven, but their report didn't give them the promise. I repeat it. You think I'm lying? All the names, Moses and all those people, their report was good. Give me verse 39 because we don't have time. And these all, having obtained good report through faith, received not. Your good report takes you to heaven. But master, we go to heaven. But before heaven, we must live on earth. When Jesus was going, he said, occupy till I come. You know what is the word occupy? If you've not been to the military, you won't understand the word occupy. Occupy means take charge, take dominance, rule until I come back. I've handed it to you. Wait! All these people we mentioned, Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, thank God for their life. Hallelujah, they have good report. They were good, they were powerful, but they had a good report. But the promises that God gave them, the prophetic word God gave them, they never had it. Wait, God can save you out of accident. By the grace of God, the whole year, you've never been admitted to the hospital. Praise God, by you having food to eat. That's a good report. Oh, are you here? By the grace of God, you have not fornicated the whole year. But you are dying. You have a very good report. You know, when you read Luke chapter 5, when you read Luke chapter 5, you read a story that a friend saying, Peter caught fish. And you read that story and read that the net began to break. So when you read and work, the net began to break. You look at the net breaking. But it's not the net breaking which is the problem. He had too much fish. But no, we concentrate on the net breaking. And did a net breaking miracle. So when but the problem was not the net breaking. The problem was that he had too much fish. So too much fish was what was his problem, not his net. So you are not here. So you read and look at their net break. So, in life, it's so easy to look at when you overcome it. I'm saying, if the net break, so they made their partners come for more of the fish. Now the problem was that their net was too small for the big thing God was doing. And if God had Jesus had looked at their net, he would not have even given them a supply. Wait. I said the elders obtained good reports, but they didn't make it. God told Abraham, I'll give you a city which builder and maker is God. God is an architect. You can't have let me tell you this, your father cannot be an architect. Are you here with me? And you don't have a drawing of your dream house. Well, look at me in another way. I see I'm lying to you, but that's the truth. If your parents are doctors, you know medicine, you can diagnose. Wait. All these that we mention are from by faith. It's impossible to please God. Yes, your faith will make you please God, but pleasing God also is not enough. So I want to teach you some things that will take you beyond this kind of faith. So that you don't just have a good report. Hey, praise God, I've not been sick. Praise God, I've never been poor. Praise God. But have you achieved what God told you to achieve? How many of you want to achieve what God says you achieve? That is it. You know something about God? At the end of when He's marking our timetable, He will not mark us based on how many people clap for us. He will clap for us according to, He will mark us according to what He told us to do and what we did and how we broke through with what He told us to do. Now it is like somebody telling you, come, you are into ministry, so you understand me. Stand by this door till I end. Now, if he decides to go and urinate, he has failed. But urinating is part of human life. By the time I come, I must see him standing here. You see, when it comes to God, what He has told you to get. Can I have this thing? You see, he has failed. I told him to stand. I told him to stand. He saw a need and he's moving towards the need. In that same way, sometimes God tells you. That's why if you read the Bible said, I was surprised that somebody's name like Samson appeared in the book. Because Samson's name should not appear. The one who was deceived by Delilah, read Hebrews chapter 11. He's one of those who has a good report. Because his purpose was to deal with the Philistines. And as long as he dealt with it, he has accomplished his purpose. So God will mark us according to the promises He has asked us to fulfill. So if you have not fulfilled that promise, you are a failure. They can give you distinction in other quarters in life. Today you stand. You can take your Bible and make notes. Take your notes. But hear me. Are you here? Look at it. Report Obayi. Now let's read. And what more shall I say? For the time will fail me to tell of what? Gideon, Barak. Do you know who is Barak? You don't know Barak? The one who was nearly bought the prophet. They bribed him 3 times to curse Israel. His name appears, even though he took the bribe. And he got there and he told the king that what God has blessed, I can't curse. God is not a man that should lie. I can't curse. So he couldn't curse, but he still took the bribe. His name is there. Because he had an assignment. You see, if Judas had not killed himself, we have made it to heaven. Because Judas had an assignment. His assignment was to betray Jesus. Let me tell you this. God knows why He created Kwan Debi. They are to take the baller from our streets. Do you understand me? Scavengers are important. I hear when you have things like centipede and millipede in your house, cockroaches and those things don't survive. So everything God made has a reason and has a purpose. So when you catch a centipede and you put it in a box or a glass, you have filled the centipede and you can go to hell. Yeah, even the poison of the snake has a purpose. It's medicinal. You are looking at me strange. And of Samson. And of Jephthah. Do you know chapter? The man who promised God that the first thing to come out of my house I'll give you. And he thought it would be a dog. And the first person that came was a Resi. The daughter. And he had to sacrifice the daughter. David. Who is this David? You know his story. All these people, they were good people. But the Bible said they did not. David will come back and fulfill their promise. He will rule in the New Jerusalem. He has not yet fulfilled it. I like your faces. All this having obtained a good report through faith, receive not the promise. You can be in church, lifting your hands, casting crowns, lifting hands, lying down, and you still are happy, but you are not fulfilling anything. That is why when you see somebody going through a storm, you don't need to laugh at the person, because some of the most storms are preparation grounds that God is using to push people into their purpose. I taught you this before, that one day God was looking for an occasion for Samson to fight the Philistine, because Samson didn't want to fight. So God made Samson to fall in love with a Philistine woman, so that he will go there and they will not allow Samson to also marry the lady. So Samson will get angry and kill one, and he killed 100. Let me tell you this. One of the things you should find out, if you take anybody as your spiritual parent, find out if the person even understands your purpose. Because the Bible said, train up a child in the way he should go. The way he should go. In other words, there is a way God expects the person to go. And note, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Didn't say he will not depart from it. He can depart from it, but when a true child grows, he doesn't depart. So you train them early as a child. By the time they grow, they won't depart. But the problem is that, hey, Asamu, sometimes you can see a child of yours misbehaving. That's a sign that the child is still a child. When the child grows, that's when the child stays in line with what he or she has been asked to do. Are you or you've gone home? Or you've gone home? How many of you like a good report? How many of you like good report with a good promise? How many of you want the promise also fulfilled? Now, if I tell you that, oh, you are very good, so I'm giving you a house at Trazaco. How many of you like that one? Good. But you never get a house. Then what is the essence of the report? Your report must give you a solution. So look at the next verse. Go back to Hebrews 11. Yeah, look at it. Let's verse 40, go. God having what? Provided some better things for us, that they without us should not be made perfect. Stay there. In other words, all these patriarchs that we talk about, the Gideon and Samson, they are looking at us to fulfill that promise so that they will be made perfect. Because they could not achieve it. Let me tell you this. The greatest dream of a father is to see his child do what he could not do. Oh, isn't it true? Jesus said, he that believes in me, the works I do shall he do, and greater works than this. If your child cannot overdo what you are doing, that child has not learned from you. If it took me 20 years to build a house, it will take you 2 years. Why? Because I made the mistakes, so that you will learn from my mistake. So you don't say that, oh, no, people say that. People say that, oh, in our family, anger is a problem. The anger problem that your ancestors have is a report for you to know that it is a deficiency that you must not accumulate. But you know what? We accommodate it and say it is part of our family. Yeah, me too. So you end up having the exact reports they had. Yeah, we should have the mass yempe. Oh, amen. And you make it as a part of your report. You even though you've never even attempted mass before, because you know your father had 0. Your grandfather had 0. So he said, oh, it is in the blood. So the day you tried and they gave you 10%, he said, I have done well. You didn't even decide that, let me break this barrier that is affecting my family. So you and your family have the same report. And the Bible said, God having provided some better things. Someone say better. In other words, all these people are good, but we must be better. There's good, better, best. So they had a good report, but we must have a better report. And I can see somebody going to give God a better report. I say you must give God a better report. I say you must give God a better report. I say you must give God a better report. The first time I sat in a plane outside country, I was 40 years. Meanwhile, at 19, 20 years, I entered Queen Elizabeth's plane, but I didn't fly. Bill Clinton came to Ghana, I entered the plane, he didn't fly. So I had a report. My little girl, Eracy, by the time she was 1, she was outside the country. Her passport had been stamped. I said, hey, because she has a better report than my report. Now hear me. Jesus came so that you will have a better report than everybody's report. So don't compare your report to the report of your ancestors. He said, God having provided some better things for them, they should without us should not be made perfect. So we are going to make them perfect. In other words, whatever they could not fulfill, the promise, you will fulfill. Can I hear amen? Let me tell you this. Do you know that the first person in Abraham's family to travel was his father? The Bible said, and Haran traveled and died on the way. And Abraham became a traveler. You see, Abraham went where his father died. And that is Genesis chapter 12, the last verse. So I want to tell somebody who is listening to me. Am I talking to somebody here? That from today, you will do better than your father. You will do better than your family. You will do better than your mother. I break the limits. I break the barrier. I break the standard. If you're the one, shout yes. Don't accept it because it happened to your father. It must happen to you. It happened to your mother. It must happen to you. We are the same. No, you are not the same. Now, when you read Hebrews chapter 9 verse 40, I'm sure they will tell me it has ended, but it has not ended. Is it ended? It's ended. It's not ended. It says it's ended. Give me chapter 12 verse 1. It's a continuation. Wherefore, seeing that we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses. Who are the cloud of witnesses? Jephthah, Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, Joshua, Moses. They are watching us on the sidelines as we are running. Those people who have failed, amen. What you blasters say? The people who are not selected. If today you are alive, you have been selected. You are part of the winning team. I say you are part of the winning team. I say you are part of the winning team. Those who are dead and they are in the grave, they are watching us. Those who could not fulfill it, they are watching us. Nobody gave birth to twins, but you give birth to triplets. Somebody's watching you. Seeing therefore, we are surrounded by so great, not crowd, though, cloud. Nobody use the word. Let us lay aside the weight and the sin. And I end it here. And so many of you, Satan is making you miss the mark. The one you are supposed to marry, you are missing the mark. The job you are supposed to do, you are missing the mark. Am I talking to somebody here? But hear me. From today, you will not miss the mark. Let me tell you this. You know, when you have weight, you miss the mark. I'll do with it on Wednesday. You know, when you have weight, you miss the mark. You see, when you are running and there's a weight on you, you get tired and you stop at the junction. And when you stop at the junction, you don't get a reward. It is those who finish the line that get a reward. And I want to tell you, Wednesday we will talk about it. We will lift every weight. We will lift every burden. Can I hear somebody say amen? Let us lift up. I'll teach you 5 things that limits faith based on this place alone. 5 things. Let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily. The word so easily is that there's always something that easily makes you miss the mark. You are just about to break through. A certain temptation comes. You are just about to break through, and a certain and you call it is my devil. You call it is my weakness. That is why you are not fulfilling the promise. Because Daniel also had a weakness. Oh, they had the same weakness. And that's why, and the Bible calls it easily. How many of you know that there's something that is easily? It easily. And anytime Satan sees that you are about to break through, he will bring the one which will easily. He knows that you like lying, but for the last time you have not lied, but something will happen that you have to lie to save your neck, and so you will lie, and then it becomes a weight. So when they are going, everybody's running with speed. Where is that? What is wrong with you, brother? Charlie, there's a burden I'm carrying. The weight is too high. By the time there is nothing to take, the burden is lifted. You are free. You are jogging. They should start. When am I going, Lord? When am I going, Lord? God said, I'm pushing another door your way. And he pushed another door your way. And that thing comes. Hey, God said, run. He said, but every burden shall be lifted. Every yoke shall be broken. Because you will fulfill the promise. I said the promise will come to pass. The prophetic word will come to pass. Somebody shout, yeah. And hear me. Wednesday, I'll tell you. Be careful who you run with. Because all of us are not running the same race. Some people, our race is the same. When you go to the Olympic Games, there's 100 by 100. And there's also 4 by 4. And there's also 100 by 4. It's not the same like 100 meters, but it's 100 by 4. And there is marathon. So the speed you start with 100 by 4. It's not the same you start with marathon. So when you see people speeding very fast, careful you don't follow them, because they are just going to buy Kelewele. But you have a mansion, and so you don't behave that way. I think you are not hearing me. You have a mansion. So you don't stop at a junction because it's running with speed. Wait, yours is a marathon. Sit down. I've not started. I have not started. And run the race with endurance. You know what is endurance? Endurance, I'll teach you about this more on Wednesday. Endurance is you don't want to, but you have to. I don't feel like, but I must do it. You see, faith is not a feeling. We do a lot of things. I travel with some of my pastors. They will tell you, I do a lot of things by faith. Master, last year when they said we were going to travel, some of us said we can't because we didn't have the money. But by the middle of the year, we bought the ticket, and we didn't know how we would survive. But as soon as we have bought ticket, we can't waste the ticket. I don't know whether you understand me. So when you buy the wedding ring, it means that ring must be put on somebody. You didn't hear me. When you buy the engagement Bible, you are telling yourself that I'm going to get married. You see, there is a journey that you can end, but you are afraid to start because you feel that if I start, I will fail. No, that is because you don't have faith. those who are going to university, they'll tell you they didn't have money, but they bought university forms because the form cannot go waste, and they applied. Why will pay your fees? Master, we will survive. We are going, heaven knows we are going, and we know we will. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, and we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we will get. Heaven knows how we will get there. Come on now. We know. Hey, waya, hey. Hey, waya, hey. Waya, hey, waya, hey. Hey, waya, hey. You see, the problem is that you fear to start. But you see.
Talk to me, man of God.
Even you yourself, you should know how you get there, or you know that you get there. If you want to know how, then you don't have faith. You are operating by the faith of the Old Testament people. Let me tell you, Jesus knew. And let's go. Verse 2. I'll prove to you that your faith is wrong. Looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. So the totality of the faith should be based on Jesus. Your faith should be based on Jesus. Jesus is the author and finisher. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego faith was small. You don't get me. Elijah commanded fire from heaven. It is small. The kind of faith we are talking about, he says, you must look. Let me tell you, the people you say you want their faith, they are watching you to fulfill a better promise. They could not. You must. And they are watching you, and you say you are watching them. That is your problem. The Bible says, looking unto Jesus. That's why I say Hebrews chapter 11 and Hebrews chapter 12 are a continuation. He's talk about faith, and he says, now looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith, who for the joy, do you know the joy of driving the latest 2017 Mercedes Benz? When I think upon your goodness and your faith, you see, you don't think about it. That's why you don't want it. Do you know the joy of waking up in the morning in the arms of your husband and your wife and having as much as sex as you want, and nobody can do anything to you? Not the while you finish and you wipe your mouth and you look left and right and you're running away. Who for the joy? Do you know the joy of living in your mansion where you get up in the morning, you look down at the swimming pool and you call someone and say, why is there rubber back on the pool? Remove it. I want to go and have a bath. Do you know the joy? Satan is an expert of teaching you about the net breaking, but not making you look at why the net is breaking. He makes you look at why you are failing. So you are concentrating on why you are failing. He's not concentrating on what you want to get. What you want to get is the reason why your net is breaking. Your net is not breaking because you have already mended the net, oh Peter, and so the net was not supposed to break. The net is breaking because your miracle was exceedingly and abundantly. You are suffering. A lot of people are attacking you. A lot of people are insulting you because you are not a mad person on the street. You are an important personality. It's only a ripened mango that receives a lot of stones, and Onya mango bunu. When your brother is good, when the pawpaw is green, everybody passes. But when it is ripe, and people stand and plan, who is it for? Don't they like it? I must come. Can I come and take it by day, or can I come and take it by night? So surely they shall gather, but not by me. No weapon fashioned against you shall prosper. They are thinking about you because you are wrapping fruit, and you are wondering why you are about to fall down. When you are not wrapping, you won't fall down. You are falling because you are wrapping. Somebody must come and plug you and take you down comfortably. And I can see some of my daughters, I can see some of my sons. You are wrapping, and the devil cannot unplug you. You will not be taken from the tree. You will not be taken from your source. I am bringing you down for comfort. Somebody shout, yeah! You know, when the fruit is ripened, if you don't plug it down, it comes down by itself. Wait. Let me teach you something. It doesn't come down by itself to be destroyed. When the pawpaw seed, mango seed is ripe and comes down, people think it is wasted, but it gets rotten and becomes another seed and receives another life, becomes another tree to produce more fruit. And some of you, why am I coming down? Things are not working anymore. Things are getting rotten. Things are getting rotten because you missed your first season. But God says, I need to repackage you and put you in your next season. But you are saying, I am getting rotten. Things are going from bad to worse. Why shouldn't they go from bad to worse? Until the pawpaw tree, the mango seed gets rotten, it cannot become a tree again and have another season. And I can see a new set of people. God is giving you a new breakthrough. I said, God is giving you a new breakthrough. Shout yes. Looking unto Jesus, the author. You're the cross. No, not this cross. Suffering. You see, he endured the cross because he knows that what he wants is the right hand of God. And he knows the right hand sitting, it comes by dying. You see, when you don't know the value of a thing, that is when you underrate it and it begins to beat you. If you want to build a house and you see a story building and say, I want one, you'll be disappointed because you put all your money in it and you could have built only chamber and hall self-contained. So you go and put it, even foundation, it doesn't finish. And you are blaming God. God, you are no. You see the point, you didn't calculate well what you have. You see, some of you get up and you have big dreams. Like Jesus, I want to sit at the right hand of God. Right hand is not easy. You want to be a pastor like me, or a big pastor. People insult you, you insult back. You want to be also from Miami? No, you don't want to be. Everybody can gossip about you and you can't talk back. Everybody can insult you, you can't insult back. You dare not. When they be the insult, you must say, hello. And what is that? Enduring the cross. So that the church will grow. Hello. God, they are insulting me. And the person, hello, sir, hello. You want to be a president? What you've not done, they say you've done. Anything you do good is bad. Oh, isn't it true? Mahama was there. They say he wasn't good. He's done worse. Nanado came. Omonyo, the fuel is gone worse. So which one do we take now? You see the problem? Because the seat there, if you want to be at the top, you must take insult. You must take slap. And the problem with the Christians of today is that we've been told that we don't have to suffer. Master, the man we are following suffered. Now, what is this suffering I'm talking about? I'm not saying you should also go and be nailed on the cross. But the Bible says in 1 Peter chapter 5 said, let this arm yourself with the same mind, because as much as Christ has suffered for you, don't suffer in the flesh. Now, in other words, you are not supposed to suffer physically, but some of the pains you go through are emotional traumas. I'll talk about it one day. Looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross. Look, as for the cross, you can't take it away, you must endure it. It's Friday, I took an offering. And I said, this is for my fuel. I'm going to chop it. I won't even allow you to go and say it. I've said it to you. So go and say it. Because let me tell you this. If you are ashamed of what people will say about you, forget success. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you, what are you ashamed of? Prostitutes are not ashamed to be prostitutes. I preach to them. They'll tell you that, Master, and I say, John, yeah. What do you mean your market is not good? And they will tell you that you are preaching to them. They will tell you that and say market is good. Let them get a little market and they will think about coming to church. They are comfortable. They are not shy. One day I met one. He said that nowadays the men who are in town, their performance is very low because they are poor. They are not shy. Armed robbers are not shy. The only people who are shy of their suffering is Christianity. Because when you suffer as a Christian, your brother and your sister will look at you and say, hey, you've done something bad. That is why you are suffering. But you don't suffer because you've done something bad. You suffer because of the cross, the joy of the things you want. The thing you want. The thing you want. Let me give you an example. You want to build a house, and you have 3 months for your landlord to move you out. And you want to build a house, and you know that you can't build your house. Let me use myself. I was building my house, and my rent was almost due. It was about a month to the time. So I went to my landlord and I said, sir, my rent is due, but I don't want to go. He said, then pay 2 years. I said, I can't pay 2 years. I can only pay 6 months. I said, why? I said, I don't have money, sir. You give me 6 months. If by 6 months I don't have the rest, I can't go. Because if I give you 2 years, I can't use it to finish my house. So I must go there and allow myself whether to be insulted, to be assaulted. I don't care. Insult me the way you want. After the 6 months, I moved now. I went to give the landlord. I said, please, by the grace of God, I moved into my own house. So, you see, the problem with all of us is that our pride will not allow us to be humiliated in public. We rather wear a designer shoe for people to clap for us than have a comfortable house to live in. Oh, no, I didn't preach well. We rather have latest phone. So our friends will know that we have arrived. The most hypocritical people in the world are Christians. If we go on a bed right now, somebody's shoe is borrowed, somebody's dress is borrowed, somebody's hair is borrowed. I nearly bought 6-pack. Did you see one there? The one you wear and your stomach becomes 6-pack. I wanted to wear it and come and show you how I can be 6-pack by force. Look, I say, despise the shame. Master, shame, the road to success, shame is part of it. Being put to shame is one of the road to success. Because you see, God cannot prepare the table when your enemies are not available. He prepared the table before you in the presence of your enemies. Some of you, the table has been set, but it's not before you, because where the table is set is where your enemies are located, and you are avoiding your enemies. Let me tell you this. When we traveled there, I learned one lesson. All of us were wearing chalwete in town. All of us. Ladies, gentlemen. There were 4 ladies, including little Louise, and four men. We were all wearing chalwete. We were wearing shorts unironed. Well, no, why? Nobody knows us. We go to the biggest malls, the biggest places, the expensive, with our chalwete, and see that the citizens are on suit and they are working, and we are in chalwete. And yet we are the ones in chalwete who are doing the buying. Then I realized that sometimes these expatriates who come to Ghana, see them walking around with some water and chalwete. And you look at them and say, these people cry, the poor people, they've left their country, they are here. They are not poor. You see, it's a mentality. You see, enemies makes you dress. Oh, isn't it true? If not for what people will say, you will not even brush your teeth. But the pastors will know that I've not started the message. What I taught them, I've not even started it. You remember? I've not started it. I've not even crashed 1 point. I gave them 12 points. I've not even given one. Last week Sunday, that was the message I taught them. You see people sitting at the right hand of God. You see people sitting at the right hand of God. And you want to sit there. Please don't look at the right hand. Don't look at the breaking net. Look at what is making the net to break. Don't criticize my fault. Look at what is making me have a fault. If you criticize my fault, you make a mistake. You misjudge me. Are you here? I've gone home. Looking on Jesus, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despised the shame, and is what? Sat down at the right hand of God on the throne. Now give me verse 3. Then it will take me to the 12 things. Let's go. For consider him who endures such hostility from sinners against himself. You know what? The very people Jesus was going to save were the very people who were fighting him. I came to realize that if you want to be successful, the people who fight you most are the people that you want to help. If you're not ready for them to fight you, forget it. He said, when you're looking unto Jesus, you should consider him. In other words, think about him, the things he went through. Who endured such hostility from sin against himself, lest you become weary and discouraged in your souls. So you are discouraged and worried because you have not looked at what Jesus went through. Today, my son, he has a job in a bank. And you people have forgotten that he sold his own shoe and walked barefooted to his house. That one is so easy for you to forget it. Take your seat. You see, it's so easy for you to forget how he bought his shoe. Like, he didn't have a seat. When I went to my father, I put my hands on my dad and said, God, this guy, why are you going home? Is he okay? And it was a shame to be barefooted. Everybody in church had a shoe that day. In church, except him. Did you borrow somebody's shoe to go home? You walked home barefooted. From here to where, Kaswa? Barefooted. That was a shame. How many of you know that's very shameful? I wonder what the wife will say when you got home. You started with a shoe, you went to God, wearing a shoe, you returned barefooted. What kind of God is this? I wonder what the people you sat in trouble with will be telling you. I wonder what everybody will be looking at you and thinking about you. You are too good to break through. You have become discouraged because you have not looked at your real mentor. Now give me verse 4. You have not come to the place of death. Let me go. You have not yet resisted to bloodshed, striving against sin. Let me tell you this. You say what this scripture means is that you have not forced yourself to fight sin to the point that you are dying. Nobody will tell you that I fought sin and I shed blood. But that's what Jesus did. Not the prayer I was praying that he was shedding blood. Take this cup of suffering for me. And yet, we say you want to break through. So you know what? Let me download you down. One day I will take you to the Jesus kind of faith. But let's look at the Abraham faith. Now you are quiet. Or I should end. Can I end? For you to go through the Abraham faith, because the Bible said Abraham believed God and was accredited to him for righteousness. Before you can come to Jesus kind of faith, you must first go to the background of certain things you have to go through in order to have that kind of Abrahamic faith. Number one. The first test Abraham went through, Genesis chapter 12, we won't read it. You can put it on the screen, 1 to 7. Abraham went to an unknown place. Abraham was asked by God to go to an unknown place, an unfamiliar place. And the question you should ask yourself is that, can I trust God with my future? No, most people don't trust God with their future. You know why I know that? You go through storms and you are crying. You are there, Abraham. Genesis said, and the Lord said, get out of your country. One of the most difficult decisions I ever made in my life. My mother is a pastor. After school, I worked with my mom 7 to 8 years. I've forgotten. When a church had gotten almost everything it needed, an auditorium, a car, everything comfortable, the Lord said, now, go to Malam and start something. It's one of the most difficult things for me to do. When I was going, I remember I told my mom this, that I am going. I don't know whether I'll be successful or not. But if I fail, I'll come back. Give me 6 months. I packed my things in some trotro, went to Malam. I didn't know anybody in Malam. Nobody. If I tell you that all the pastors here, apart from maybe Pastor somewhere, all of them came through Malam. All my pastors. Apart from Pastor David and Pastor Victor, who were with me before. Malam. Most people who are working around me was at Malam. I just obeyed God. I didn't know what to eat, what to wear. When I go through things, one of my best scriptures is Romans 8:28. All things work together for good because I love God. Now let me ask you a question. Can you trust God with your future? No, it's not true. Don't just say why not. Most people don't trust God with their future. Do you? I don't think so. Yeah. Thank you for being sincere. Most people are not. If take your seat now. Now, if God tells you right now, some of you, if God tells you right now, you see the lady sitting by your side, marry the person. You say, God, you mean what? This lady with this funny character. God has spotted somebody. You spot. Abraham didn't know where he was going, and yet he was going because God said he should go. That is faith. That's like, if you can't operate by this level of faith, forget it. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going. How does the future hold? I'm going. I don't know if you can take that step. Now, as for Jesus, he knew that he would sit at the right hand of God. Abraham, he didn't know. He was just going. Stop your work and be a pastor at Bridge. I remember telling Pastor David and Pastor Tony this. Well, I said it to a lot of people, but they came to me and verified it. I said, yes. And your future will be bright. Huh? Okay? You say? Oh, wait. How much will you pay? Won't pay you. Wait. And I should be a pastor all the day. I'll be in the church. Hey. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What will I eat? What will I wear? You know the problem with us? We don't believe God. The first test you will have in your faith is that God will want to take you to an unknown place. And the application is this: can you trust God with your future? I say this with all humility. Everything I have, from the barbering of my hair to the sole of my feet, if not for ministry, I won't have. It's true. Everything. I am a product of ministry. Even the brush I used to brush my teeth is a ministry gift. Because I'm an ambassador. Ambassador pays for nothing. How many of you can obey God in that order? God says move, and you move with no question. How many of you can do that? Let me see your hands up. Okay, the hands have dropped. The second test you will go through. Let me quickly hurry up. If you want a full message, see Pastor Tony. I'm sure he recorded me last week when I preached it somewhere. Genesis chapter 13, 8 to 13. The second test. Are you ready for that one? In Genesis chapter 13, Abraham and Lot had a fraction. They began to fight. And Abraham told Lot to choose the best out of everything he wanted. And then Lot chose East Legon and left Bulemi for Abraham. Now, the second test you go through, and the application is this: can I still trust God even when I know people around me are having things better than I? Abraham walks with Lot, and Lot takes the best of the land, and Abraham takes the desert, and Abraham still trusts God. You know, sometimes people stop trusting God because their neighbor got the best, and they didn't get some. We are all in church. Why is it that some people are getting married and we are not getting married? This God is a biased God. Do you trust God with your interest? When even it seems that you are receiving an unfair settlement, you are being treated unfairly. Was it fair? Oh, answer me. Was it fair for Abraham for Lot to choose the best? Abraham was the one who God called. He allowed Lot to follow. Now he allows Lot to take the best, and Abraham said, "Take it and go." Take it. Let me tell you this. I was telling the pastor is that I fear anybody who chooses money over a human being. And I can never work with such a person. Anybody who values things than human being. A human being will give you anything you want, but things cannot give you everything you want. Lord, you choose the best plane, take. And Abraham chose the desert. I can give you countless examples of people in the church who people took things from them, and I told them, settle down. Pastor Charles is here. Yes, sir. Well, he employed somebody. I've told you this story before. And the person went behind and took over the company. I said, leave him. It wasn't long. The thing backfired. You know, you can't cheat God. Can I trust God? How if you can trust God in this level? Let me see your hands up. You can trust God in this level. Are you sure? Your 28,000 cities you have put down to manage everything. And somebody comes to take it. And you know it's the person. I remember one day I prayed to God that God should break me through. And then somebody brought a tithe in some dollar. We were in Awash. And somebody took it. And I saw the person. God said, keep quiet. To date, I know the person. But I've never confronted the person. And the person chopped the money. And me, that week, I suffered. Gyroff. Years ago, Pastor Tony's wife, I said, Pastor Tony's wife, Pastor Tony's mother came. Pastor Tony came to tell me their mother wants to see me. The mother came to my office. And the mother said, I've taken you rather as my firstborn instead of him. And so every time the rent money, I'll bring it to you. And when I bring it to you, you can decide to give him some or not give him some. I said, okay, ma. So the mother left the money. That week, the way I needed money, as soon as they brought the money, I called Pastor Tony and said, Pastor Tony, our mother has brought the rent. And I need money than you. So forget it. I chop it. You stay alone. And I told him, Pastor Tony, say amen. I don't know whether he remember. Did he come to tell you? He came to tell you, these things you can't keep it. It's so painful. If it is you, go to your mother and say, me no fear. That is interesting. God will always bring you to a point that it looks like somebody is having it better than you. Sometimes, Penina, I don't have time to preach you all. And Hannah, I serve God better than Penina. But Penina is progressing and I'm not progressing. Lot is making it, Abraham is not making it. I remember years ago, I have friends. I'm not lying to you. If I go to their church, I say, God, you have not called me. Hey! The human beings, now we have overtaken them. And the instrument, one day we went to borrow somebody's keyboard to do Can God. In the midst of the program, they came for the keyboard, they're doing choir practice. Major program, not that they had ended, they were playing praise and worship. Whilst we were playing, they were waiting to collect the keyboard for choir practice. Hallelujah. Can you look at Lord succeeding? And it seems you who has the promise, nothing is working. I'm a pastor. I prayed for people who were giving birth, and me, my own, I didn't have a child. The day my wife gave birth, somebody came to me and said, congratulations, man of God, now I believe in you. Yes. Because first, not just know Jimmy the Oba, sorry. Can you? That is a train of faith. What if you have that faith? So you have been jumping here. I receive it. Now the real faith test is coming. Number what? Genesis chapter 14, 13 to 18. Abraham rescues Lot from the 5 kings. Number 3, Would you rescue your enemy after he has departed from you? or you will thank God for their failure. If you were Abraham and Lot, who broke away, has been destroyed, what will you do? Praise the Lord. God has paid him in his own coin. When Abraham heard that that boy had been attacked, he took people from his own house and went to help him. And my years ago, people who rebelled from the church. It was raining. I was in my 4x4 that's come fresh. The Sorrento. I was feeling good. I met them at the junction. I rolled my glass. I saw it's raining. Get in. So the Lord said I should pick them, so I picked them in the rain. When I was going. They said, the way it's raining, can I drop them in the house, not the roadside? The Lord said, go. I dropped in the house. The Lord said, for what you have done, I will always be with you. You see, interestingly, most often, people who fight you, God sometimes have to allow them to fight you. Because sometimes, until some people depart from you, you will never really know what you have. Listen, go and get my message, Abraham's staff. I think I might have preached at Pastor Charles' place. I preached that message at your place. Go and get the message. After Lot departed, Lot was only one staff of Abraham. Abraham raised 318 staff to be able to manage his affairs better. Sometimes when one person departs, it gives room for others to come in. So you don't have to even see that person as an enemy. Jesus called Judas a friend. And called Peter Satan. Peter didn't want him to die, so he was Satan. Judas wanted him to die. He was a friend. How do you define friendship? You define friendship by those who agree with you. That's why you are suffering, sister. And some of you, your breakthrough has not come because of the people you are not talking to. Lord needs your help. And you will not, even though you have every capacity to help Lord, because you still remember what Lord did to you. But when you impute people their sin, God will also impute to you your sin. You go home, eh? A real walk of faith is a heart of forgiving people. Because bitterness is a weight. We'll deal with it on Wednesday. Abraham could have limited himself. And know what would have happened to him? If Abraham had not gone to that war to rescue Lot, know what would have happened to him? He will have another rebellion in his house. Because let me tell you this. When he went to the war, Pastor, if you not heard me say this, when he went to the war and got people saved, we know that he gave the resources to his subordinates so that they all became empowered. If he had not gone to war, they would all be fighting for his property. Sometimes wisdom. I heard this man say something. Bishop T.D. Jakes, when he came to Ghana, and let me tell you what he said again. That has gotten me excited. He said, when people sin against you, forgive them, but mark them down. That you can forgive people, but that doesn't mean that you give them that same opportunity again. Abraham did not give Lot the same opportunity again, but he was forgiven. Forgiveness doesn't mean you give them the same opportunity again. Now you are quiet. Let me end. I'll give you how many now? The pastors have all the 12, so go to them for it. No, some of the pastors anyway. That is Pastor Tony, Pastor Charles. Hey, two of them. And their wives. When Abraham got the booty, he gave his tithe. Tithe is an honor to God. Tithe shows that you value the God factor. The Bible says that honor the Lord with your substance. The first fruit, you honor him. So not bringing your substance is dishonor and disrespect. And you cannot expect to get something from somebody you don't respect. Yeah, honor the Lord with your substance and with the first fruit of your increase. Now, when he has also given his tithe, Lord, hear me. All the kings, their butchie and co, they said, we are giving it to Abraham. Take. Abraham said, I will not take anything from you. Not even a latchet, not even a fencing, shoelace. But I want the rest that my sons, my workers have taken to be given to them. Let me tell you this. Hear me. You can give God your tithe. But if you cheat your workers, you will still not prosper. Abraham knew what was for God, what was for him, and this is also faith. It takes faith to know that this is for God, this is for me, and this is for my workers. There's something they say. What they say, chop chop bring what? You chop alone, your people will not be motivated. You see, that is why Ghana, we are having problems, even Nigeria. True of us. People are chopping alone and they are not letting the money flow down. You can work with somebody and the person knows that you deserve this salary. The person will not give it to you. I'm not lying, no. Somebody in government will delay all government salary workers' salary for 6 months and use it for fixed deposit. And workers will go on strike. Then you pay them first month, second month. By the time the fixed deposit is done, the money is his. And then you are dying of cancer. You use all the money to solve cancer problem. Because let me tell you this. What if you're a man of faith? You know what is yours, what is for God, and what is for people. And don't touch that which is for people. Oh, amen. It's a pastor. I'm being smart. No, you are not faith. We are not called to live by smartness. We are called to live by faith. Oh, amen. Oh, amen. Abraham could have said, yes, give me my portion, or I don't like it. Let me tell you this. One of the things I don't like is throwing away my things. Whenever I buy anything or I get anything, I still keep the package as it is. You know why? I want to be able to hand it over neatly to somebody else who needs it. Because everything I have is not mine. Everything I have, I'm to use it till the owner comes for it. And whenever you put this at the back of your head, you won't destroy your dresses. When you say smile of a child, some of you bring a dress that by the grace of yourself, the armpit is yellow. And you poo-pooed in one. And you fold it next in a box, put it at your back, and say, we should give it to the poor. They thank you. When I was outside, I was watching Pastor David. The pastors will tell you what, and their wives. I said, my boy looks smart. He looks fresh. He looks like a general overseer. And was standing here with his tablet. Here, it was here. And I was watching him. And I felt good. I saw the person. I was telling them. I was the one who was sharing it, telling everybody to watch. I was happy. Let me tell you this. Some of you, there are things you have, it's not yours. You got a shoe, size 48, your leg is 42. You have put cotton inside. Are you sick? Your leg is 48. The shoe you are wearing is 44. You have squeezed your leg inside and you are. And you see your brother walking barefooted, always saying, praise the Lord. Oh, thank you, sir. Oh, thank you, sir. And say, this small boy can't wear designer. This small boy can't wear designer. But you can wear designer. May God have mercy on you. Sometimes somebody can even come and dash you weave or weave on. Anyway, true of us. It is not the type you like, but you know somebody. Look, Abraham, a man of faith, knows what is for him, what is not for him, what is for God, and what is for his neighbor. And he does not touch what is not for him. If you touch what is not for you, somebody will touch what is for you. I'm telling you. As I'm telling you. As I'm telling you. I say I'm telling you. I have a prophecy for somebody here. Should I say it? You have bought new things in your house and you are waiting for a good time to use it. It's a prophecy for the Lord says, release the old ones and use the new ones because they are expiring. Dash it. Are you quiet or what? He said, I'm like Abraham. You are not. You are not. Oh, are you here? You are not here. This shirt you have, the hand is very long. You go and give it to the tailor to cut and put inside so that it will fit you. And you see that Pastor David's hands are long. And Pastor David has been praying for you. And you have been seeing him in a dream every day praying for you. And somebody has given you a shirt. And the shirt is taller than your hand. And you don't know that the shirt is not for you. There is something wrong with you. Am I preaching well? Is it true? Or it's not true? It's true. God will use you to be a... You see, God told Abraham, I'll bless you and you be a... Say, yes, sir. I'm coming. $100 in Timmy line. I should sit in Western Union 2 hours. Next, when I can pray and fast. So you know what I do? I do it to my associate pastors. When he sends some money, small money, I say, use it in this person's name. They bring it to me. I say, when you think, say, Pastor, take it. Use it for what you want to do. It's not for me. I have passed that level. I want to chop $1 million. I want to chop million. There are some, you should come to a level where you should know that certain things are not yours. Please, did you hear me? How many of you believe that there are some things in your room at your level you don't need it? And you must hand it over. Do this and see your miracle coming. Oh, I'm not lying to you. Empty yourself of things that are no longer useful to you and yet are useful to your neighbor. I'm teaching the Abrahamic faith. What will I get back? That is faith. You are emptying yourself of what you have so that what you need will be given to you. I'll continue next time. How many have I given? 4. I'll continue next time. It is, how many did I give you? 12. You see, you can't clap. You have a mobile phone. The person you are working with, you call the person. Master, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Meanwhile, you have a phone. You don't use it. It's lying down. You see, where the emfatano. Emfatano so ye jumama. Emfatano so no ye jumama. Oso phone bakona. O friend. Look at somebody standing by you and say, excuse me, do you have faith at all? What the person say? Go to, how many points did I give you? Okay. Go to 12 people. You are supposed to have had 12. But go to 12 people and tell the person, have the Jesus kind of. 12. I'm not included. I'm not included. Some of you are very good titers, but you are stingy to your friends. That's why your doors are not opening. Very good titers, but stingy to your neighbors. That's why you're not breaking through. You are always honoring God, but you are not honoring the people around you. So, as for me, I'm a faithful tither. Yes. But do you honor the... If you have enjoyed the message and you think the message is for you, give Jesus a mighty clap of him. If you believe the message is just for you, and not for anybody else, give Jesus a hand. Keep clapping. Keep clapping. Keep clapping. Give him 1 minute praise. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute praise. Amen. Let me tell you, I have another word for somebody. I don't know who it is for, but here somebody took you to school, somebody introduced you to an opportunity. Anybody, if even the person is a drunkard, if even the person is an occult man, anybody who you look back and you think the person has been helpful, sign telling the person that I might not have anything, but if I look back, your contribution to my life is what has taken me where I am. when we were outside, Pastor Charles was sharing, I won't go into it in detail, a testimony around it. And I asked him to do it. The person was not even minding him. I said, do it for him. And that is what opened his next door. Because if you don't honor the people, Abraham honored the 318 men who went to war with him after giving his tithe. How many of you will take this thing I'm saying serious? Don't say it is me. Me, no. Sometimes somebody even led you to Christ. The person is not in bridge. Yeah, the person is not in bridge. The person is like that. If you think and think you can't get one, you are wicked. I'm not lying to you. If you can sit down between now and December and you won't get anybody, take me out. And you can't get anybody in your life who has helped you before, you are wicked. And anybody who doesn't remember cannot go place. And your faithfulness each day, I'm convinced it's not because I am worthy to receive that kind of love that you give, but I'm grateful for your mercy, and I'm grateful for